Is Caitlin Clark playing tonight? Fever Stars injury status versus Mercury. The Indiana Fever, 17-13, returned to play on Thursday at the Phoenix Mercury, 18-11, in the final contest of a 4-game road swing. Once again, the Fever will play without star guard Caitlin Clark. Per Wish TV's Angela Morien, the second-year pro has been ruled out of her 9th straight regular season contest with her right groin injury. That means Clark has missed 18 regular season games in 2025 with various injuries and 19 contests overall, including the WNBA Commissioner's Cup Final. Clark's injury woes date to the preseason, when she missed the Fever's opening preseason contest with a left leg injury. A subsequent left quadriceps injury cost Clark 5 games from May 28 to June 10. Then a left groin injury sidelined Clark for 4 regular season games, and the WNBA Commissioner's Cup Final. Limited to 13 games thus far in 2025, Clark is averaging 16.5 points, 8.8 assists, 5 rebounds and 1.6 steals per game on 36.7% field goal shooting and 27.9% three-point accuracy. While fans will not see Clark return Thursday night, it sounds like Clark is making positive progress. On Sunday, ESPN reporter Holly Rowe said Clark had begun to ramp up her conditioning work. Well, Stephanie White did give us a small update on Caitlin, that she has started some full court running, full speed running the last 4 or 5 days. Still not doing full basketball activities, but there has been some progress made recently, Rowe reported. In a recent NBA Today appearance, Fever coach Stephanie White indicated the franchise will continue to proceed with caution. Yeah, I mean, it's day-to-day right now. We're really just putting no timetable on it, going through the rehab process, and then we want to reintegrate her from a strength and conditioning standpoint, and then get her back to basketball activities. So, we're taking it one day at a time, really slow rolling it, slow playing it this time. She tried to come back a couple of times and just had setbacks along the way. So the most important thing for us is Caitlin's long-term health, getting her back to 100% before we put her back on the floor, White said. Indiana is trying to rediscover the win column after the Los Angeles Sparks snapped its 5-game winning streak on Tuesday night, 100-91. The Sparks are 3-0 against the Fever this season, but Clark was out injured for all of them. Tip-off between the Fever and Mercury is 9 p.m. Central Time, with the game set to stream on Amazon Prime. The Indiana sky was painted in the usual August haze, warm, restless, and full of possibility. It was game day in Indianapolis, but this one felt different. Outside Gainbridge Fieldhouse, fans gathered earlier than usual, dressed in red, navy and gold. But amid the chants and chatter, one question hung in the air like smoke. Is Caitlin Clark playing tonight? They didn't need a scoreboard yet. The real score, the emotional one, was still waiting in the tunnel. Inside the waiting, the Fever locker room was buzzing, but not from music or hype videos. No, this buzz was quieter, tense, curious. Players moved through their routines, stretching, taping, hydrating. But every few minutes, someone glanced toward the hallway where the medical staff was still huddled with the star of the night. Caitlin Clark sat on the trainer's table, her right ankle wrapped tight, not swollen anymore, but not exactly game-ready either. It had been 4 days since she'd landed awkwardly in the third quarter against the Aces. She'd walked off under her own power, waving to the crowd, saying she was okay. But being okay and being ready weren't always the same thing. The decision room. Coach Jennings stood beside the team doctor, arms crossed, eyes narrowed. She wasn't just thinking about tonight. She was thinking about the season. About minutes. About pressure. She says she can go, the doctor said quietly. Jennings nodded. I know she does. But what do you say? There was a pause. She's 80%. Maybe 85%. No structural damage. But if she tweaks it again. Jennings didn't need the rest of the sentence. She knew it already. The wrong move on a mostly healed joint could cost a month. Maybe more. Caitlin's call. They let Caitlin decide, technically. That's how these things worked when you were the franchise. The face. The one filling arenas and shifting TV ratings. She laced her shoes slowly, taping over the brace for extra support. Her mind wasn't on the Mercury, or even on the ankle. It was on what she represented. People hadn't just come to see a game tonight. They'd come to see her. Her game. Her grit. Her logo threes. Her no-look passes. The fire. The flair. The fuel. But she also knew the truth no camera could show. That sometimes, the toughest part of being a competitor was knowing when not to compete. The tunnel. 10 minutes before tip-off, the lights dimmed in the arena. The Fever PA announcer began his usual hype. And now, your Indiana Fever. The crowd rose. Phones out. Eyes scanning the tunnel. First came Boston. Then Mitchell. Then Smith. No Clark. The cheers faded to murmurs. People held their breath. And then, she appeared. In uniform. Shooting sleeve on. Hair pulled back in that signature ponytail. She jogged. Yes, jogged, onto the floor. A slight limp? Maybe. Maybe just a shadow of it. But she was out there. And the crowd? It exploded. Coach's plan. Jennings walked over to her just before the anthem. You've got 20 minutes, Max, she said. Smart minutes. Caitlin smiled. That's all I need. You say that every time. And I'm usually right. Jennings chuckled. You're not invincible, you know. Caitlin shot her a look. Try telling that to 17,000 people. The game begins. Tip off. The Mercury came out strong, led by the veteran fire of Diana Taurasi. Indiana was tight early, a few missed passes, a few heavy steps. But then Caitlin touched the ball. And just like that, the tempo changed. Her first shot was a deep three from the left wing. Swish. Next play. A no-look dish to Boston, who powered through for the and one. The ankle? Forgotten. Or maybe just defied. By halftime, she had 11 points and 5 assists in 14 minutes. The Fever led by 4. But Jennings didn't push it. Second half? Bench. No arguments this time. Caitlin nodded as she sat. Icy wrap back on. High fives all around. Sometimes, playing smart was its own kind of victory. The message beyond the court. The Fever went on to win. A tight 82-78 battle that came down to free throws and defense. Caitlin ended the night with a modest stat line, but an outsized impact. Not just on the scoreboard, but on everyone watching. Because when the final buzzer sounded, it wasn't just about whether Caitlin Clark played. It was about how she played. With intelligence. With maturity. With the kind of decision-making that turns stars into legends. Post-game. Reporters swarmed her at the podium. Was it a game-time decision? Yes, she said. And I made it. Any pain? Nothing worse than watching from the sideline, she grinned. Will you be ready next game? She shrugged. Let's see how the ice works first. Jennings added later. We trust Caitlin. And she trusts us. That's how we're building this thing. So, is Caitlin Clark playing tonight? She did. Not for 40 minutes. Not for glory. But for her team, her fans, and the story still being written. One smart step at a time.